Hello, this is Ria from HopeForge, and today I'm here to give you a tip on how to present yourself compellingly and powerfully in critical conversations. And so what am I talking about here? Well, those really high stakes conversations where it can determine how at least, the next part or possibly the rest of your life is going to go. So for example, job interviews very much come under this. Also within the career space, if you are talking about yourself or having a soft conversation or interview or informational interview with someone, sometimes these conversations can pan out days or months or even years later and really open doors for you. And so these are situations that you've got to take seriously. On the personal side, a lot of times when you are meeting your family, not your family, your partner's family, or people who are, extended in some way, shape, or form from you, but you're going to have a really intimate connection. Those are the situations where, a lot of us sweat bullets because these people have to, if not like us, get along with us. And the final situation is social, right? And those situations where you have to make an impression social, maybe because it's going to have an impact on how you are seen professionally or personally, or you could make new connections. So in all of these cases, it's really important to be able to present yourself powerfully. And we all have a lot of problems with this. We can get really overwhelmed and we can just start talking. And when we are in these high-stakes conversations, what we need to do is be able to present ourselves powerfully, succinctly, and again, compellingly, and not just talk about ourselves. So what's the difference here? Well, it's actually really easy for us to talk about ourselves. Like as an example, I could talk for a really long time about how I'm getting super into succulents. Like I love plants anyway. You can see plants all over here, but I am loving succulents. The problem is I have a green-black thumb. And so I've been making a lot of mistakes as I've been learning. And you see, I could talk about this for a while. You see how this, unless there's something very specific in a job interview or potentially meeting someone's parents or in like a social setting, it either could come across as really cute if I've laid the foundation, or I would just look like an idiot, right? Complete, mouth word vomit. So we don't want to just talk about ourselves because that is pretty aimless and that can make us look really dumb and honestly not really thoughtful of other people. Instead, what we want to do is we actually want to think about what our culture ad is to the group of people that we are showing ourselves to and sharing ourselves with. So why do I say culture ad and not culture fit? It's true that people are very homogenous and we like to get more and more of the same kind of people with us. The problem is that's actually really bad for us as human beings. On the business side, the more homogenous, so that means the more the same a group of people is, the less likely they are to innovate, to be able to move forward and progress, to be able to retain employees, and actually to be able to just stay around. So the more homogenous a business is, the more likely they are to. When it comes to interpersonal groups, the more homogenous we are, the more intolerant we become and the less open-minded we are. And that goes for people whether or not they are liberal, conservative, like straight, queer, it doesn't matter. Homogenous equals, much more closed. So when you come and meet people, you don't have to say the phrase culture ad, but think it. So when people are like, tell me about yourself, think, what is my culture ad? So I'll give you an example. What do I bring to the culture, not how do I fit in? Well, I am a queer woman who is Jewish. I was raised Jewish. I'm a super geek, and I was a nerd and a geek and really awkward as a kid, and I am a born researcher. And so what this means is I am really able to see where people come from because I know what marginalization looks like. So we often feel marginalized, whether or not we structurally are marginalized, and that means that I can reach out to people. And also, because I'm a researcher, I always ask why and I want to find out more information. So in a nutshell, I can think, okay, in this conversation, what is my culture ad? And I can say, I have compassion and I'm a researcher and these are the reasons why. And that's what you want to do in these very crucial conversations. Think about what your culture ad is, talk about it to yourself, share it with another person to make it flow more easily, and then distill it down, and then bang, you know what you bring to the table. All right, that's it. Thanks for joining in.